kids! Welcome to this channel! It's time for an extra special Peppa Pig episode just for you! So, get ready, because we have so much fun to have today! And you won't want to miss a single second of this super fun adventure. Let's jump right in. It is a beautiful day in Peppa's neighborhood. The sun is shining and the birds are singing. All the little piggies are playing outside and having a great time.
But Peppa and her family are getting ready for something very exciting.
They are going on a sleepover adventure to Nana and Grandpa Pig's house. We're all going to Nana and Grandpa's house tonight for a sleepover, said Mummy Pig. It'll be just the bestest night ever, said Peppa excitedly.
Peppa put on her favorite pink pajamas and packed her favorite teddy bear, Mr. Dinosaur, for the sleepover.
She couldn't wait to spend the night with her grandparents and her little brother, George.
When they arrived at Nana and Grandpa's house, Peppa and her family were warmly welcomed.
Oh, my little piggies, said Nana Pig happily. I'm so glad you could make it. After saying hello to everyone, Peppa and George ran to their favorite spot in the house, the treehouse. The treehouse was decorated with twinkling lights and colorful balloons.
There were even 2 brand new sleeping bags waiting for Peppa and George.
Wow, this is so exciting,
said Peppa.
Me first, said George, and he quickly climbed into one of the sleeping bags.
Peppa followed him, and soon both piggies were snuggled up inside their cozy beds.
After the children were settled in, Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig started to tell them a story about the magical adventures of 2 little piggies who lived in a tree.
Peppa and George listened intently as their parents made the story come to life with funny voices and exciting sound effects. As the story reached its climax, a loud crash was heard from downstairs. "What was that?"
asked George, his eyes wide with fear. Don't worry, it's probably just some mice playing, said Mummy Pig, trying to sound reassuring.
But even she had to admit that it sounded like something big had fallen over.
Just then, Nana Pig came bounding up the stairs with a flashlight in hand. Come and see what we found, she said. As they followed her downstairs, Peppa and George couldn't help but feel a little bit nervous. What could have made that loud noise? When they entered the living room, Nana and Grandpa Pig were standing next to a large, dusty box. Look at this, said Grandpa Pig. We haven't opened this box in years. With trembling hands,
Nana Pig lifted the lid, and inside they found an old record player and a stack of vinyl records. "Can we play it?" asked Peppa, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Well,
I don't see why not, said Nana Pig. But I'm afraid we'll need to find some records to play. Just then,
Grandpa Pig had an idea.
I think I know just the thing, he said.
He led them to a nearby shelf, where he pulled out a book with a golden cover.
This is my favorite storybook, he said. And I bet you've never heard the story before. He opened the book and began to read.
The story was about a brave knight named Sir Reginald, who went on a quest to rescue a princess from a dragon's lair. As he read, Grandpa Pig's voice boomed through the room, bringing the story to life.
Peppa and George were completely engrossed in the tale, and they didn't notice the shadows growing longer or the record player starting to spin. Suddenly, the room plunged into darkness. What happened? Cried George, hiding his face in Peppa's bed. I don't know, she whispered back, her voice shaking.
Then they heard a loud crack, and the silhouette of a gnarled hand appeared in the darkness. "Don't be afraid," said a familiar voice.
It's just me! Relief washed over Peppa and George as they saw that it was only Nana Pig. The power must have gone out, she said. But don't worry, we can still finish the story by the light of my flashlight. She turned on her flashlight and continued the story.
Sir Reginald continued his journey, braving treacherous terrain and battling fearsome beasts along the way.
Finally, he reached the dragon's lair, and a fierce battle ensued.
In the end, Sir Reginald emerged victorious, and the princess was rescued. As Nana Pig reached the end of the story, the room suddenly burst into light. The children gasped as they looked around them.
The room was filled with toys, games, and books, and it looked like a magical wonderland. How did this happen?
Asked Peppa, her eyes wide with wonder.
Well, I think the magic of the story brought this room to life, said Nana Piggets.
A shame the story's over, said George.
But then Peppa had an idea.
We can make up our own story, she said.
We can pretend that we're the characters and let our imaginations run wild.
The children spent the rest of the evening playing make-believe and creating their own fantastical adventures.
They pretended that Peppa was a brave knight named Sir Piggy,
and George was a talking dinosaur named Dino. They fought dragons, rescued princesses, and explored enchanted forests, all while giggling and having the time of their lives.
As the evening wore on, the children grew tired, and it was time for bed.
Thank you for the wonderful night,
said Peppa, giving Nana and Grandpa a big hug.
You're welcome, dear, said Nana Pig. I'm so glad you had fun.
The children snuggled into their sleeping bags and closed their eyes, dreaming of brave knights, talking dinosaurs, and magical adventures.
In the morning, they woke up to the sound of birds singing and the sun shining through the window.
Good morning, said Peppa, stretching and yawning.
I had the bestest dream, said George. We went on an adventure and fought a dragon,
he said with a big smile.
Peppa and George got out of their sleeping bags and ran to the window to look out at the beautiful day.
Let's go explore, said Peppa.
Me first, said George, and he and Peppa raced out of the treehouse and into the sunshine.
They spent the day playing with their friends and exploring the great outdoors.
They went on an adventure and discovered a world full of wonder and excitement, just like in Peppa's dreams.
As the sun began to set, Peppa and George knew it was time to head home.
They hugged Nana and Grandpa goodbye and promised to visit again soon. When they arrived home, Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig were waiting for them.
Did you have fun at Nana and Grandpa's house? Asked Mummy Pig. It was the best, said Peppa. We stayed in a treehouse and played make-believe and had a sleepover, she said with a big smile.
Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig smiled at each other. They were so happy that Peppa had such a wonderful time.
Well, I'm glad you had fun, said Daddy Pig.
It's always nice to spend time with your grandparents.
As the family drove home,
Peppa and George couldn't stop talking about their fun-filled day.
They told their parents all about the magical adventures they had and the wonderful memories they made. And as they drifted off to sleep that night, they dreamed of dragons, princesses, and daring knights.
Knowing that tomorrow would bring new adventures and endless fun. Thanks for joining us today, kids. We hope you had as much fun watching this episode as we did making it. If you liked this episode, please give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe for more fun-filled episodes of Peppa Pig. We'll see you next time.